Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup, man. It's me, Chris Cup. I'm here with the guys, Kurt Chella, man. We got Kev RL in the building, and we also have T'Challa cousin Reg in the building. Say what's up to everyone who's rocking with us, guys.
Man, y'all done call me Wakanda every episode now.
I know, right? You're becoming a theme now.
Hey, man, you might want to go ahead and take a residency there, man. So, goodbye,
Bring me in the
condo.
ocean.
Oh man. So how y'all living, man? I see Kurt he's popping his collar like it's 2009, but it's all good.
I'm popping my collar because we winning out there in LA. I'm living vicariously through some friends down there in LA, man. So
Oh, you an LA fan now? Oh, ooh, man,
No,
times have changed.
I'm not an LA long-term fan, man. I'm just happy they won the Super Bowl, man.
So you a bandwagon fan?
No, I've always liked Detroit Lions, man. But they got a key quarterback from there, man.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about that guy. Anyhow, Kev, you got anything you want to say? I just want to make sure. I want to include you as well.
I heard you said he liked Detroit Lions. Is that true? That's what you said? Like you've always liked Detroit
I liked them
Lions.
since Barry Sanders when I was a kid. But they never gave me anything to cheer for. And they still haven't.
Jeff Garcia, Megatron, Idamakin Sue.
Yeah.
These are players.
The
Steve
team
Mariucci.
collectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have good players, and
Hey.
you can be tried.
Hey, DeAndre Swift is pretty good.
Again, you're talking about players. You talking
Hey,
about
Herman
teams.
Moore was
Okay.
Herman Moore was a good receiver, man. But
He just said, hey, that they wasn't giving him anything to cheer about.
Man, Chris
I'm
gave you all
just-
that silver lining just now.
Whew. You know what, man? That's the kind of fan you are. You only like fans. You don't like the team when they're winning. Bro, that's cool.
I was down with Detroit for a minute, man. But at some point, you just got to
Yeah,
cut
especially
the team loose.
You got
Just
to
like
cut the loss.
At some point.
just like a Golden State fandom. Anyways, let's get into this.
Oh,
man.
no, I'm
If
down.
this
Hey, bro.
allegedly, I mean you are now,
Always.
but
Always.
allegedly. Okay. If you're rocking with us today, man, this is the place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else in between through the lens of Black culture, man. Check us out every Tuesday. I know it's gonna be a late drop on Wednesday, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna just make it do what it do. But again, check us out on social media, Grindhouse NTWK on IG and Twitter. Also on Reddit, check us out on Grindhouse NTWK. Just follow us or hit us up. You know what I'm saying, engage with us. And also, man, we got a Discord, so all of those links are in the links in the description box below on the homepage on YouTube, and then also check us out on the audio side if you want to rock with us and you don't want to look at us, man. Do it on the drive. That's probably the safer bet. You know what I'm saying? Check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Tell people to tune in to us, man, so that people get wind of it and then get plugged in, as we say. So, anything else, man? Did y'all want to add to that? Cool.
Nah, that's solid.
Our fabric of the day is sponsored by Denim. I just got that in. But anyway, let's.
Hey, Levi sent the check.
Hey, no.
So let's get into it, man. Look, the Super Bowl has come and gone, man. We saw a really nice, tough fought battle, man, between the underdog Cincinnati Bengals, and everything looks good on paper, LA Rams. And I mean, hey, it was nip and tuck, man. We didn't know who was going to win. It came down to the last 5 minutes where the Bengals were up by 4, man. All they had to do was just stop them one more time. And Matthew Stafford, well, better yet, Cooper Kupp has, came through to save the day. And then Sam Darnold came and sealed the deal on the last play, the last series for the Bengals to go ahead and get his ring. So, with that said, man, look. Rams, man, they're the champions, man. Kurt Chella, man, what's your reactions to this?
Man, I love it, man. Let me first say I would have loved if either team won. But like we were talking about in the pre-pod, the Rams put everything, plus the future, plus the kitchen sink on the table to win this year. And as Kev brought up, you got to value leverage like your now for your future. But everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, man. All these players grow up thinking, hey, I want a shot at it. And that's what they did. So they put all the cards on the table, and it was successful, man. And as we were talking about going into the game, they had the talent. And looking at the stats, man, it was about Stafford's interception, his propensity for throwing the ball to the opposite team versus it's not Joe's fault, man, versus the Bengals' inability to protect Burrow, right? Because he gets the ball out. It's just those blitzes come quicker than he can get it out. And you're looking at, they got some sacks on them, but Stafford also threw some interceptions, right? And which one was going to win? I took my hat towards the Rams because of that defensive line versus the Bengals' offensive line, if you want to call it that. It's bottom line, great show. And I guess we could say, I won't touch the halftime yet. I guess we can talk about that later. But I love what I saw. Hats off to both teams.
Cool. Hey, I think I heard the nickname for the O line for the Bengals is called Five Guys. That's all they got. So, anyways, let's move on. Reg, man, what's your reactions to the game, man?
I thought it was a great game. A lot of drama for me. That first touchdown going down by Odell, that was great to see him participate and have some kind of credit to the win because he got injured, which was big. Really sad for him, but they played a great game and just kept taking that and going from there. Both quarterbacks at one point looked like they might have been injured. They just played through it. I know what you commented about, the O-line versus the D-line, which is very accurate, but Joe Burrow just did such a great job of getting that ball out quick. They got to him a couple times, but it is not as bad as we thought it was going to be, and he kept that game competitive by finding targets, doing quick releases, and just being creative on offense. That was pretty much it if we just doing summaries right now.
Yeah. No, that's good. Kev, what you got?
I agree with that, man. Like, I thought he would have got sacked a lot more, and moments where when I thought it was gonna happen, he's like, whoop, ball was out. It was gone. Had no opportunity to do so. Show of hands if you get excited by empty trips. I don't know if anybody get excited about empty trips, but the first two drives were empty, and I was super excited.
Yeah,
I was like, defense is in, defense is here. They gonna play. This is gonna be a game. When they closed the first quarter, 7-3, same thing. All right, 7-3, one TD, one stop at the red zone. We got a game. I already knew it was in for a game, and it held up. It held up being exactly what it stood out to be in the first quarter. Run game. I wasn't expecting the Bengals to shut out the run game the way they did. Again, I didn't really watch the Bengals, so my reaction to that was I was blown. Couldn't get anything going on the run game. I thought Rams was going to struggle, not just on the run, but because the run game not going, I thought it was just going to trickle into everything else. And it was going to be an uphill battle for Stafford and company. And it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't at the same time because they got some momentum going. Cup got a pass. A couple things went well. Then OBJ showed up out of nowhere, got that TD on that drive. I think that was a pretty quick drive too, about 3-minute drive on that play. So then you look like, all right, Rams gonna do what they built the team to do, come here and dominate a little bit. Went up by what, 13 or whatever. Looking good. But Bengals determined they're not gonna be outplayed, and they showed up, closing that half out 10-13. It was like, man, I'm here. Everybody should be paying attention right now because it was a game to watch. And second half held up as well. The game was closed out. We never knew who was going to win, how was going to take it over. A couple mistakes here and there that I think allowed the game to end the way it did. But that's sports, right? Minimizing your mistakes, and some people didn't quite do that, and that's where we ended up. But we'll talk more about these flags at the end of the game too, man. I think I'm happy for the Rams, but I feel like they got nurtured a little bit, man. That last little stretch, a lot happened their way to make sure that a TD came out on that drive.
Can we give a shout out? You were talking about that first half. Can we give a shout out to the smoothest offensive pass interference we've ever seen?
Oh, the face mask.
Oh, the face mask.
Yo,
it was all one motion. He just it was some Matrix stuff. He grabbed the face mask, made his momentum go, and it just looked. He was putting his hand up for the ball. It was just so smooth. I never did it. It was smooth.
Yeah.
And he knew that. I know it was gonna be a flag.
No flag. Let's go. fair game, fair ball.
Hey,
So
Chris, before you go, I want to give a shout out to that D line. I know we said that it was the D line, it was Burrow's, the O line in the ability to protect Burrow and Stafford's interceptions. They did get to him 7 times.
mhm.
So think about it, how close this game was. They sacked this man 7 times, which is a lot in the regular season. And imagine the Super Bowl, we have time to prepare Hill, so that's even more. So that's just a testament to how great Joe is.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I was going to point out when Kev pointed out, talked about the stacks and stuff with Joe Burrow. I was like, yeah, you get hit 7 times and you still in the game. That says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a nip tough game. But this is, to me, seems like it was summarized as first the referees stayed out of it, which I kind of enjoyed. I think most of us kind of enjoyed that for the most part. Let them play on. You know what I mean? And obviously nothing gets out of hand, but it's a Super Bowl. It's look, all your cards on the table, you just cashing out. So everything that we known both of these teams to be, basically they were it. The defense of the LA Rams, and they were stifling. Bengals were stifling too, to a lesser degree, but they showed up. This is how they played all playoff season or playoff postseason, essentially, with the Chiefs and with the Titans, even with the Oakland Raiders. Oh, sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. They're no longer in the Bay Area team. So sorry for the Oakland Raiders fans.
Raiders.
They've all moved on to bigger and better things in Las Vegas.
Wow. I don't know
Hey,
about
Forced 2 interceptions.
yeah, forced 2 interceptions. We know Matthew Stafford is prone to throwing picks. He threw 2 picks. Joe Burrow's prone to getting sacked. So offensive line let him get sacked. He got sacked 7 times. Look, so this is basically this was a summary. This is a cliff notes of their respective seasons, and it came down to just something as simple as a field goal. And yeah, man, it was a great game. Shout out to Odell Beckham, like I said, in the warm up on the pregame. Yeah, man, like this dude had a redemption year. Like the fact that he was thrown away like trash. They thought he was washed up. He was overpaid. He came in and he had a slow start. He had to learn the system and the offense, but he really started to bloom in the postseason. Started with the 49ers, I believe, or maybe it was even with the Buccaneers. Like he's starting to show up, and he was being impactful. He was just out here just doing these small like cross routes, being a really big good number 2, which is probably where he's fit best at it. A really good number 2, not number 1, but number 2. Oh yeah, he'll definitely shine and flourish there. So hats off to the Rams, man. It was an exciting game, and hopefully the Bengals will be able to make noise in the future, because I believe Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, who didn't drop a pass all season, he dropped his first pass in the Super Bowl. Just
on a first down.
Yeah, on the first down.
Not just any pass.
Yeah.
A potential, because I think he was just shy, but he had space to get it.
And he turned his head too early, dropped the ball, let the ball at the bus stop. So
I know we were texting during the game. I was saying I felt like if OBJ had a good finish to the season, and if he had an impact on the game, that it kind of makes Baker Mayfield look like clown shoes. What do y'all think about that?
I think there's some context in what Chris said, man, because in Cleveland he was the number 1, right?
Yeah.
And he's not meant for that role. And when you think about his success with the Giants, you forget Victor Cruz. I can't tell who was number 1, but Victor Cruz was you had to respect him.
Big part of that team. Yeah, you had to.
Yeah, huge part, right? So you had that also. So when you went to Cleveland, they got him as a number 1, and he was the number 1 by far. And I think
this is nice.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
And no knock against him. It's just the talent level was different.
Yeah.
It could have been scheme or whatever it was, because Victor Cruz had a bigger impact, and that freed up Odell. So now he's in with the Rams, where Kupp's the man, and he takes the bulk of the defensive attention. Leaves OBJ to roam, man. So I think it was just a better situation, just like New York.
But I mean, could the offensive coordinator there not have thought about, let's try something different if they're not seeing success, rather than just having him on the field and putting your blinders onto him? That That doesn't seem like winning football.
Well, part of it also was availability, and he already had an ACL tear. He's been in and out. Like they've never really been healthy. If whether it was Nick Chubb who was out, or it was Jarvis Landry who was out, or Baker Mayfield was out a couple of games. Like they just never were on the field, in my opinion, long enough to get that chemistry. So we don't really know. Like that's just a really complex answer. And I don't want to say because he was successful in LA that Cleveland was the problem. But
not just that, but I meant more so there was a point where he was just not targeting Odell. That's more so not trying to make it work.
Yeah.
It's not just like because you fit on one team on the other. You was just like you kind of wrote him off at that point. I'm saying, well, does that make you look like a player?
Oh,
you can't ever fault not having that connection. Like that Stafford Cup thing, like sometimes it's just there. You can't create that.
Yeah.
But you could definitely control. I'm not gonna look that way. Being petty, holding a grudge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
that's another weapon at the end of the day. Period.
That's true. And that is where your head coaching gets involved. Like, yo, it don't matter. Give him the ball. Like, what are you doing? That I don't know the answer, but if you see that happening with two of your star players, coaches got to figure that out, man. And sometimes coaches got to tell them, hey, y'all locked in this room, y'all figure it out, come out better.
I mean, you got that too, but I think also, I hear the thing about the injuries and things, but Odell just got to the Rams, like, he wasn't even there for the whole season. Mm-hmm. So I think that negates some of your point. And then too, Stafford, he's known to have a big arm. He could throw the ball, man. So I was looking at stats real quick. Stafford's average throw per attempt is like 8.2 yards, where Mayfield was right at 7.1, right? And so Stafford's, we all know he's not afraid to throw the long ball, whether you're open or not, right? So he's going to do it. And watching some of Baker's games, man, he hasn't shown the propensity to do that yet. So
I don't know, man, but I'm sure it's a convoluted answer. It's going to be way more complex than what we have to talk about. So, but what we do know is that the MVP was crowned to Cooper Kupp, and he just out here breaking records. He was just catching touchdowns all year. I believe most people who was even in the fantasy football championship or won had Cooper Kupp somewhere close by. So he definitely changed the game with his stats and stuff like that. He definitely just broke all the mold and all the records that he can probably break in one season, man. And he probably wasn't really effective all game, but he showed up in clutch time, and that's how he got that touchdown. So I mean, or at least the ceiling touchdown at least. So yeah, MVP Kupp, man. Reg, man, was this the right choice? Was this the person who should have came away with the gold or with the MVP trophy?
Oh yeah, he definitely earned that MVP trophy. Sorry, I was having some internet lag there, but he definitely earned that trophy. He was doing everything. When like you said, we were looking at his he was kind of there, but he wasn't really doing too much in the game. But when he needed to get hot, he put the team on his back. That Stafford Cup connection. Man was running the ball too. He got a 7-yard run as a wide receiver
on a key first down. Yeah.
Yeah. When the team just had no run game, the wide receivers when that went and got that going. Made a play because they still didn't have a run game after that. But then just kept connecting, got the touchdown. Just he did everything the team needed him to do. So he definitely earned that MVP. I know we talked about can Stafford get it? But he had those 2 interceptions. And there really wasn't anybody else in the game to give it to at that point.
Yeah. I agree, but let me see, Kev, man, what you got? Do you think it's
I mean, I got a question though. Just because I like to bring in another aspect to it. What about the defensive side? Do we ever really see MVPs get handed towards the defense side?
Yep.
I mean, I had Donald in my mind, but I also had a couple in my mind. But
Von Miller. Von Miller was
Ah.
Super Bowl MVP, the Denver game,
Yeah.
Denver Super Bowl. It happened.
Oh, you talking about the one with Peyton
Manning.
Manning?
Peyton Manning was out there
Manning
with
couldn't get that one.
Nah.
boy had a bad
Oh,
back.
God.
But yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, I think
It
actually
happened.
before they crowned Cup, I think we were talking and we thought it was going to be Donald or Von Miller, but then we were continuing talking and saying, you know what, Cup could get it too.
That's how I feel. I feel like if they
Yeah.
went to either one of those, I would be okay because
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
they pull it together. Again, he started off pretty good, so he got them going in the beginning when things were looking a bit shy. And then every now and again he showed up, still had the TD, even though he wasn't contributing on the drives. And come down at the end, it was like, yo, we got to do this. Like, ain't nothing that's happening right now. You and I, we taking this over, and they did it. They took it over,
And
they succeeded. Is like I can't
Donald
not
did
give
those-
it to him.
Donald did those two big defensive plays back to back too, right?
Back to
To
back.
help shut the
He
game down. Yeah.
shut it down. It wasn't giving up the chance. It wasn't allowing the offense to. Yeah, they took it into their own hands to win that game, and I appreciated that. And
It's
Donald
like
had
they were
that.
going to decide they weren't going to let the offense decide and
Exactly.
like that.
So both plays, man, both plays gave them the win. The offense from Cup and then down to make sure that hey, nothing transpired on those plays.
And you know, just to Kev, to put a little bit more sauce on your question, in 55 Super Bowls, there've only been 6 defensive MVPs.
Hey man, that's enough,
Guys
man.
stand out.
That's enough. That's good.
I know, but
Okay,
enough. But it's those guys stand out. I'm pretty sure they would stand out as the supreme in the defensive role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add, Kurt Scheller? Is that how you pronounce it?
Hey man, like y'all said, Cooper won that game for them, man. Sean McVay, I don't know when it happened. When they talked, Sean had to look at Cooper and said, "Bruh, we need you, man. Go and do what you do." Because the Bengals did a good job of locking him up. Stafford targeted Cooper 10 times and he made 8 catches, man. 10 times, 8 catches. That's freaking phenomenal, man. I think 90, just shy of 100 yards. And I mean, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about it now. That the game-winning drive, for one, Stafford, the one that Chris hates on so much, who has the most fourth quarter game-winning drives in the NFL?
All right.
I reject the premise.
You think, Tom? You would think Mr. Brady, but that's not the answer.
I reject the premise. Number one,
Huh?
I don't hate on Matthew Stafford, so you just kind of start off pretty with a bad opening.
Do you value Matthew Stafford highly?
I value him correctly. It's not.
Okay.
I don't over or undervalue him. He's
So you
Matthew
think the
Stafford.
rest of us?
Overvalued.
I know I think we were talking about how they even went to get him. You're like,
Look.
I don't know why they did all that to get him. Even after this is after he won the Super Bowl.
This is after he won the Super Bowl.
Just so y'all know, to give context to the rest of y'all, this is not mid-season or preseason crazy. This is after they won the Super Bowl. He was just like, I don't know why they did that.
Matthew Stafford is nothing but a Joe Flacco. That's all I'm saying. He's a Joe Flacco. He's a
Okay,
Joe
so here's the
Flacco.
thing. Here's the thing why he's not a Joe Flacco, man. Stafford has 31 fourth quarter comebacks in his career, man. That leads the NFL, leads the league, more than Mr. Brady. He's also put up tremendous numbers, I think like in the top 10 in his span as far as yards and completion percentage, man. And think about the team he had in Detroit. Nobody. For the most part, outside of some standouts, he had a YMCA league, man. An A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls League, man. Because when people get to Detroit, they get demotivated. And when they leave Detroit, they're awesome again. It's like a black hole. It's an organizational sandpit, man.
Wow.
So the trade that the Rams did, trading Goff for Stafford, I know a lot of people, i.e. Chris, was wondering why they did that. But the main thing, and Kev kind of touched on it, man, when in the beginning of the game, the Bengals did it. First drive, they went empty backfield. They're like, hey, Joe, we trust you. Well, one of the things that made Goff lose his job in LA was the fact that, like, the 2019-2020 season, when the Rams went empty backfield, which was a staple of theirs, for whatever reason, he started becoming hesitant. And he wasn't throwing the ball down range. The one thing Stafford can do, he targets on one person, he can get the ball to him, like he did with Megatron and like he did with Cup in the second half. Man, he's like, "Hey Cooper, I don't care. I'm gonna throw you the ball. But if I got 3 on me, I'll throw it to you. You know, I'm gonna get it there." He's not afraid. He's not afraid to gamble, which is why he gets a lot of interceptions too. So that was a key thing. But my main point is, man, we gotta put some respect in that man's name, Chris. They traded for him to get the Super Bowl, and what did they do? They Super Bowl champs.
They traded for a lot of people to get the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that I'm just saying they overbought for Matthew Stafford. It's all I said. You guys are making it seem like I'm saying don't go get Matthew Stafford.
You can't overbuy it. You can't overbuy it.
You can overbuy
for Super Bowl.
It's your value. It's your value.
Yeah.
It's the value
he was. Yes, you're right. And some people buy $1 million over asking price out here in these housing markets. Look,
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's
Like,
not the
it's
value.
it's $1 million over asking. But if you go to a person who had $1 million to go over asking, whether they
That's
was
a value.
like the purchase was valuable to them, obviously they closed the deal. So.
Alright. So someone thought it was valuable enough. I just thought it was over. Look,
They thought it was.
you traded away 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick for Matthew Stafford.
22, 23.
That's a
And
lie.
Matthew
That is a
Stafford-
lie.
And Matthew Stafford delivered you Super Bowl. So
Alright. He's still not an MVP. So it really wasn't.
I don't know if that matters. I don't know if that matters, but
He did all
you can
that.
have an MVP.
No.
Did Aaron Rodgers win the MVP?
Did Aaron 1 year?
No, I'm saying this year. Didn't he win this year?
I thought it was Cup. Or was Aaron Rodgers? Or maybe it was Aaron Rodgers. It could have been Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. It came so late, I didn't see it. But I think it has been him. I think it was him.
Did he win the Super Bowl?
He has one.
Okay, but did he win this year?
No, he didn't win this year.
Okay, so you cannot be the MVP, and that's not the end all be all.
I understand
Back
that,
in the day, all
but
they did-
Aaron Rodgers has a better resume than Matthew Stafford.
It's
I
okay.
agree.
It's a team sport. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a team
It's okay.
sport.
What is
I agree.
okay?
We need all
I don't
pieces
disagree with you.
to make the puzzle, man. We need all
Exactly.
pieces.
I
Like,
understand.
this piece was something they valued, and obviously they did a good job in their choice of
Yes.
who they wanted
I-
to fill in
I-
that piece.
That's totally fine. Look, I was even okay with Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff. I thought that was an upgrade. I thought that was an
Yeah,
upgrade. I agree.
You did. I thought it was lateral. I remember
Yeah, you thought it was
lateral.
lateral. But I do
Yeah.
remember saying that, like, yeah, but when I look at like the details of like, oh, this is who they gave up. This is what they gave up to get him. I'm saying that would have been something that I would have been like, that's
I
probably.
feel
a
like
little
you
bit
could have
much.
got it for cheaper, but now that you paid the price, even though you paid more than you want, it went and got you from point A to point B. Are you mad at the car? Are you mad at the vehicle?
Well, I
Do
mean,
you want a refund?
again, I can still decouple that from the end result because they did more than one move. So if they just did that one move, then sure, because I can just say, okay, that one move resulted in this one outcome. But we know that they made multiple moves, so I can't sit there and say, yeah, that affected the future. So I can't say that one move was enough to put them over the hump, or was the other moves were enough. Like, it was a combination of all that stuff. I'm just saying, look, man, they end up getting Von Miller, who I think was a critical piece. Like, I think he was more important of a piece than Matthew Stafford.
Absolutely. Having that and having him and Aaron
Donald.
that's crazy.
But
That's too much.
yeah, so I mean, that was all I was saying. But back to the question, man, you never answered the question. Was it the right choice? You got onto this Matthew Stafford soliloquy.
Was put the right choice.
Cooper Cup.
Oh, yeah.
He did
Yeah,
all
Cup
that.
got,
How did we get off the track?
Here's the thing that's so amazing.
How did you get
I
off the
forget how
track?
many times they tried in the end zone, right? I think at least 3 times, right? With all the flags, all the resets.
Yeah.
Sight, I got it this time, but nah. Hey, I know Stafford, you overthrew him this time, but we're gonna let you do it again because it's a flag on the play, right? After multiple attempts to Cooper, like, it was obvious the Rams' choice. We're not throwing to anybody but Cup.
Yeah.
Somehow, on the play where he actually got the touchdown with no flags,
It was in zone.
it was a fade route, and there was nobody on the backside. He was single covered, and I don't know how, because it was flags, so you had time to readjust your defense. It wasn't hurry up offense, no huddle offense, or anything like that. So that defensive play just, I will forever be flabbergasted by that. But yeah, without Cup, they're dead, especially after OBJ went down.
I mean, I feel like Stafford was trying to make Chris's case too, because he overthrew into the stands. Then he threw it right into the dirt. These are 3 plays y'all were talking about, right? When he had 3 tries.
Top 5 quarterback.
Well, no, the dirt play was that was when Cup he was legitimately held that second time. The first time it was debatable. That second time, that dude he yanked.
Yeah, it was holding.
Yeah,
He was holding.
They yanked and held him the second time.
Hey,
And then the third time, he was like, "Hey, third time's the charm."
Hey, I'm not mad. If it was me checking Cooper, listen, I would triple, tackle him without the ball.
I would just hold him all day. Hey man, we won't be holding until they stop calling it.
Yeah.
Until y'all throw the ball to somebody else.
So, but yeah, no, I look, I'll say the same thing. Cooper Kupp all the way. Close second, Aaron Donald. Close third after like distant, I guess average third, Von Miller, or even Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was shut down more often than not. Whoever he was on,
Ramsey,
yeah,
like,
he was. Yes, he was.
I felt like he
was.
had a bad game. Maybe we were focusing on the big plays, but I felt like he didn't have a great game.
Well, this is the thing. They were putting him on players. This is what the announcer said. They were strategically putting on players who they thought the Bengals were going to go to. So one player may be Jamar, another player may be T. Higgins, and aside from I think that one deep throw where Jamar Chase was open, he kind of caught that deep pass.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff he kept them, under 10 yards, meaning like, okay, you may got first down, but you didn't break a big play on us. And he was guarding T. Higgins, he was guarding Tyler Boyd, to a lesser degree, he was guarding Jamar Chase. I mean, that's a lot for one cornerback to kind of handle, because usually either stick to one side or stick to one man or something along those lines. But I mean, yeah, if you keep going up and trying to block everyone's dunk, you're gonna get dunked on once. It happens. So look, I wasn't gonna knock that one time he got. Actually, the last play of the game where Joe Burrow got sacked by Aaron Donald, Jamar Chase he was open. If he had like a second to just get it out to him, he probably would have burned him again. But hey, it didn't happen. So there's we can't.
We forget how close this game got, because there was that one play where Joe Burrow was getting sacked and he threw the ball and it came close to being caught.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that would have been enough for first down if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I mean, Cup is the season hero at this point. You know what I'm saying? So at least for a wide receiver, probably the best performing wide receiver in a long time. So. Anything else on that before we move on to this halftime show?
Go ahead.
All right,
Let's
cool.
not 50 waiting too long, man.
All right, man. Well,
We passed out.
halftime show was fully studded. Basically a whole West Coast connection minus NWA plus Dr. Dre, because apparently Ice Cube wasn't in the mix, and it was basically everything that Dr. Dre kind of like his 4 greatest proteges, in being Eminem, LBC guy himself, Snoop Diggity Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent popped up upside down, and even Anderson .Paak was in the building. That was interesting too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was very action packed, very star studded. I think a lot of people was waiting to see this, and yeah, man. What were y'all thoughts on this? What would y'all have given this? Like out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Kev, what you think?
Man, it could give me out of 10. It's gonna go like with an 8 out of 10.
Go with 8 out of 10. Okay, just go ahead, double it.
I could go 4 out of 5, but
You want to do that so you can hit 4 to 5. You just feel like 4 is a low number. You don't like
I just feel
that?
like 4 is a high. It's so high, it's like right there to perfection, but like 8 is like 2 away, so it's just the amount of steps you gotta take. But it's like I want to leave room for some of the other great Super Bowls that was out there, Super Bowl halftimes that were out there. But it's just the cast. The cast alone was enough to take me back to those times where I always had my headset in, playing my Discman with Eminem CDs and stuff like that, man. Like listening to those things all night, all day. So for me, it was just nostalgic, and that added to the effect. So for me, I enjoyed it.
Cool. Kirk Cheller, man. Well, I know you didn't listen. You got a lot of bad musical choices, but go for it.
Bruh, hey, dude, you know, hate is just in your blood, man. God, hate is in your blood.
What's his bad musical choice? I
Well,
would
you
love
know,
to know what.
because you know he said Drake is top 5 all time or something. I was like, yo, what is
I
that?
asked the question.
What is that?
Take top 5 all time.
And the answer is no.
hard-
The answer is no.
It's the argument that you have to have.
It's not even an argument.
It's definitely an argument.
We sidetracking. What's going on with this?
No, so okay. I want to say it's definitely one of the better ones, right? Definitely one of the better ones. But in the history of Super Bowls, let's not forget Prince was a halftime show. Mr. Michael Jackson himself was a halftime show, right? And then we had Nipplegate with Janet and Justin. That was my personal favorite right there for obvious reasons. But that was, dude, I loved it because it fit the area in which the Super Bowl was at, right?
Yeah.
It's the West Coast via Dre. I mean, I know Mary and 50 are from New York, but still, it's that West Coast, you know? That's what put them on. So because it fit the theme, and like Kev said, the artists they brought out, man, Kendrick, we ain't heard from Kendrick since before COVID. So it was dope, man. That by itself made it just worthwhile. So I can't think of another show that fit the city that it was in, like so much so.
Gotcha. So you got a 4 out of 5 is what you're trying to say. Because, you know, it's all other great Michael Jackson and Prince and The Who. Katy Perry, Shark.
Man, brought up Katy Perry, bro.
You know what? I got it. They did it. Nah, man. I'm gonna give it. There could be a couple of 5 out of 5. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5, man. 'Cause I can't forget they gave the ode to Tupac too, man. It just because how it fit, it just fell in line with LA because of that and who they had out there, the star power. Katy Perry. That's it. That's all I got on it.
Gotcha.
The Shark dancing.
All right, Rez, man, what you got, man? How you rate it?
I feel like I'm a hater here, but I'm gonna have to go 3.5, bro.
Nah, you good, man.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why I went with 3.5. I felt all the things that y'all felt, and I seen everything that y'all saw. And in the moment, it felt like a 5. But if I'm being objective here, like in the moment, it feels great. Like it hit all those notes that you needed to feel and all that. But when you put it in the grand scheme, I give it a 3.5. I mean, like 50 Cent looking like he was about to pass out, coming down. I was just like, it was okay. You know, Trey was on the piano. That was cool. I didn't like the weekend. It was definitely better than the weekends last year. But like seeing Bruno Mars come out and kill it, we done seen some great performances.
Oh, Bruno and Beyonce. I forgot.
Beyonce, she killed it. You know, they had a mismatch with all kinds of people that year, but you know, coming out and doing formation and making that statement that she did on that field, like he has so many big Super Bowl moments that, like I said at the time, like I'm just right there with you, like, oh my God, it's LA, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar. But if I go and put it back in the context, I feel like I give it 3.
Do you feel like maybe they had too many? Because when I think about it now, the special Super Bowl moments had like 1 or 2 artists. They had time.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was for me. Because I was just like, oh, okay. They kind of did like maybe a minute and a half from this song, and it was already on to the next. And you know, Eminem came out, he did his thing, he kneeled. You know, it was what it was. It was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah. Like even just seeing us on the stage, like that was, you know, or not even just us, because they obviously had black people, but doing, you know, more urban music.
Yeah.
Like that's not something they typically do. It's more of a country, maybe pop kind of crowd. So
Mhm.
to see hip hop on the stage is always a good thing.
Safer
You know,
options. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
for like
Don't
a
forget
like an
about
all black hip hop show, I thought that would be. I thought I would see that in the Super Bowl in Atlanta before anywhere else. You know, just
Yeah.
in my mind.
Yeah.
SoFi's open. This is SoFi's opening season, or was that
Yeah.
last year?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
I thought they
Yeah.
opened last year. Or was this? I don't know.
I think it was.
Well, the first time the Super Bowl was at SoFi, so like
Definitely.
I feel like
Definitely.
it was a great introduction. I feel like it really just elevated it and just made it feel LA. Like we've been seeing that with the Insecure and all that. It just kept building on that LA vibe and just putting that out there. Something
Yeah.
you could just like, oh man, that's really LA.
Yeah. So, I'm in the same bed with you, man. I would say three out of five.
Yes, you are.
Three and a half out of five. Look, man. Look, when he said, he was like, okay. He probably has a
I
good
knew
sound
Red's
reason.
gonna be objective.
okay with that. I'm actually okay
I'm
with
I'm objective as well. Look, the setup was great. Like I liked the lineup.
Yeah.
The lineup was star studded, and then it's like the there's so much of each individual artist catalog that had to be scrapped for them to play one or two maybe songs. I feel like if they just kept to the core four of Snoop, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, and Eminem, I think it would have been better. And I for some
Mary?
reason, and yeah, just take out
Mary?
Mary. Just take
Oh.
out just take out Mary. Not saying like she's bad, but just because you just need more airtime. Like
Yeah.
50 Cent didn't be there. He could have just
Yeah.
went, you know what I'm saying? But, if you kept those four, like they've had so many songs together that they probably could have played off of a lot of each other's songs and remixed it a lot and did a bunch of like creative things to the point to where it would have been a better show. Because I mean sometimes, yeah, you could have 5, 6 Michelin chefs in the kitchen at the same time. You could either get a really great product, or you probably get like so maybe something not as great because everyone is such an expert in some kinds of things that it may not be able to just add to whatever the final dish is. And in that, to me, when it was done, I was like, was that it? Like, I felt like
Yeah.
Super Bowl halftime shows are longer. Like, I just felt like it was.
It felt short. It felt
Yeah.
rushed.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, but the stage was nice. I like how they had the house
Like aesthetic.
with with Dr. Dre moving from the mixing board to the piano to I thought they was gonna do either Gin and Juice or What's My Name, because he did that video. He was in the house. It was a house party. So I thought they was gonna kind of factor that into it. So yeah, like Eminem, he only really did one song. Like Eminem has tons of hits. Like he could just talk.
That was it for me. I felt like there was so many missed opportunities. Even if they didn't cut somebody, I would have swapped out 50 for the game. I know he said he felt like he should have been there.
Yeah.
The
I
game would have been
understand
a
the
better fit.
politics. Yeah, I understand the politics on why they picked 50, like that whole Interscope Eminem 50 vibe. Like I get that.
Yeah, and the
But like game is from LA.
Yeah.
He put LA on the map,
Yeah.
or G Unit, or
Yeah.
that collective. So
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's why I gave it a three out of five, just because I feel like it was a lot of missed opportunity. There's a lot of hits you had to leave on the table just to come up with what it was, and I felt like it was just short. Like it just felt rushed, like you said, Reg. So I don't know, man. Like they could have did better, and we've seen better. So yeah, man, 3. It was good, not great.
3. That's kind of low, but
So
I
what
get your point.
would you rate Katy Perry's Super Bowl?
I only
And-
remember the shark and Katy Perry. Katy Perry's not I don't know, probably a 2.
I
yeah,
think for the
probably a
crowd
2.
that they was trying to appeal to, they probably got it at like a 4. But
Yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah.
But
She came out on a giant tiger.
yeah.
Maybe they could have paired that with Cameron and made it a moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's a normal like Maroon 5 in 2019? Like,
No, but
That's average.
Yeah, but we again
Was
we
that the
have
year that they brought out so many people?
I don't know. I like the mix of people, honestly. Like I know I can see
Yeah,
where it's a downfall, but I like mixes and I like when people get together and play music. I didn't feel like I missed anything because at the end of the day I wasn't trying to see Dr. Dre concert or Snoop concert or Eminem concert. It was just more of a halftime show, so I was okay with the mix. And my culture, we love mixing, so we all about the mixing.
yeah.
Hey,
I think,
you know,
Maroon
next year's
5
gonna
brought
be.
out. Oh my bad. I was
You
saying,
know,
I think
next-
Maroon 5 brought out Travis Scott, Big Boy. Like that was cool.
Yeah. So is that an average one? Is that a 3? I'm just trying to get the
Average for me.
thermometer.
It was still average. for me.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
like I said, even with this one, like it was cool.
Yeah, it was that's about a 3 too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Maroon
That's a
5 is
6 out of
just
10 though. That's
Mhm.
like a failing. See, that's a 6 out of 10 when you expand it out. You check that's
no,
why
it's not failing. It's
It's a
just
tough
room for
scale.
It
improvement.
is feeling.
We just it's room
man,
for
that's a
improvement.
D, man. You feel it?
Room for improvement. So
That's
Yeah,
true.
room, a lot of
Failing does leave room for improvement.
Yeah.
yeah. So all right, man. Well, hopefully, shout out to the West Coast, LA. I'm glad that they actually got some representation on that note.
sir.
But hopefully they can do better than next Super Bowl. I don't know where it's gonna be at. It's probably gonna be in like
I was about to ask, 'cause you know next year's
Charlotte?
gonna be called Nashville Super Bowl halftime show.
or Texas. I think it's in Dallas. Maybe in Dallas. They try to find these.
I feel like they just did it in Dallas.
Do they ignore some of these areas just because of the populations? Is that a thing?
I think there's a criteria. You got to be able to have enough infrastructure with your hotels or accommodations, and then also seating in the arena. So there's some stadiums that just don't have the infrastructure built out.
Like
So-
Charlotte. I don't think they'll ever come to Charlotte. I don't think they have the criteria. I don't think they have the capacity for it.
They host the NCAA March Madness each year.
March Madness, yeah, basketball. We're talking about the Super Bowl, though. I don't think they hotels. I mean,
And the NBA All-Star game.
That covered, man. They got
And the
covered.
NBA All-Star game, yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. They could do it. So who couldn't?
Pittsburgh, I know Pittsburgh can't do it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Pittsburgh can't do it. And also, they don't really say it. It's kind of like a unwritten rule, but I think they prefer warmer climates. Also.
Oh, okay.
So,
Didn't they had it in Minnesota one year, right?
February. I'm not mad at
mhm.
that.
Yeah.
They don't want to have
That's what I
another
was thinking.
Tundra Bowl.
I was thinking about like Kansas City. Like, will we ever see one in Kansas City? Probably not. I guess. I don't know.
Maybe some great barbecue.
Yeah. Oh well, second best. That's okay. Uh,
Cleveland. I guess
Kevin's the one who
don't
caught
get
that.
in.
It's all good. So, all right, man. Let's move on to this last thing, man. Now that Matthew Stafford, Kurt Chella's favorite denim jacket named Matthew Stafford. He got a championship. So apparently, man, now top 5 quarterback allegedly. He's supposed to be, he's in the talks now
Hey,
for
we say
Hall
top
of Fame.
5. It's like I said, top 5 all time. It was a specific
Top 5
season.
this season.
Yeah.
Top-
don't.
top 5
Hey,
this
first
week.
contact minutes, sir.
Top
First
5 this
contact.
week.
For the moment.
He's,
for the moment.
he's definitely top 5 this week. Yeah.
But yeah, man, people talk about Hall of Fame. I don't know why,
What?
but people talking about Hall of Fame.
I'm
That-
not people.
Matt Stafford, fanboy number 1. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Nah, man. He has to do some more to win the Hall of Fame, man. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He's been around, right? So he's gonna have to do.
12 seasons.
He's gonna have to do a lot.
He's gonna have to end it like. I don't know if he. Yeah, nah.
Okay, all
I really, at the end of the day, when he ties it all up, I feel like he's gonna be introduced as the former Super Bowl winner, not Hall of Fame. That's what I see.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with that.
The greatest quarterback from Detroit.
That is true. He is the greatest quarterback. Play for the Lions. That's true.
Man. Kev, are you feeling the same sentiments, or you want to challenge it?
Yeah, definitely. Nah, I have no challenge for that one. I wish I
okay.
did.
Okay.
I got none though.
Well, good. This is quick, man. No, he should not be in the Hall of Fame. He can be in Joe
Not, at least
Flacco.
not yet.
He could be a Hall of Joe Flacco. That's about it.
Nah, he's
I'm
so much
still
better.
sticking to my not yet. It's a long shot, but
Yeah,
He closed the gap in the next. We'll see
he
how he
can.
follows it up.
Yeah, let's see. He may become, a top five quarterback.
What does
So
he need? What does he need? More rings or just
he
consistency?
he needs more.
Consistency.
He needs more consistency. He needs more wins. He needs to quit throwing picks to everybody. He needs
Well, Brett
um
Favre is in the Hall of Fame, and Brett
he,
Favre throw picks like nobody's business.
but he also was
I
like
don't know.
He
an
only won one
iron.
Super Bowl.
He only won one Super Bowl. Was he Super Bowl MVP? I believe so.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
Super
he
Bowl
went
MVP.
twice.
Yeah,
He went twice.
he went twice. He's been a Pro Bowler multiple times.
Yeah,
He's an Iron Man. Like he's played like the longest amount of starts for a quarterback. I want to say I think he has a record or something like that.
he has some records. Yes, he has some records. Yeah.
So he's been doing stuff. Matt been playing football, getting paid for it.
Yeah, but
He's never Pro Bowl. Never Pro Bowl, right?
Never Pro Bowl, but
Never Pro
top
Bowl.
five
He's
quarterback.
never had a team.
He had Megatron. He was one of the best receivers. He could just do the same thing he did in Cooper
Who else
Cup.
did he
That's
have?
part of the game. You can't hold that. You can't hold that against no.
Yeah, who else did he have besides Megatron?
Eli Manning ain't had no receivers either,
Elon had
He-
a stellar
he-
defense.
and he had two Super
Stellar
Bowls.
defense.
What didn't Eli Manning have the Cruz
For,
Yeah, I think-
for
and
part of,
and OBJ?
Nah, not for a Super Bowl.
Oh,
He's
for,
at
so you're
least-
talking about specifically for Super Bowl? Okay.
well, I'm just saying
What?
he hasn't had like these star-studded receiving core like
Well, he had one. He had one very specific talent, and that was when he needed to beat teams like the Cowboys or the Patriots.
he was clutch.
He was their guy.
He was clutch.
He was their guy.
He was such a glitch
Brady
in
will
the
beat
matrix.
everybody else. All of a sudden, Eli Manning gonna come and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dallas having like some undefeated, or they were having a very high win season?
Mhm.
The only team that beat them and beat them twice was the worst Giants team in a long time. So
Yeah. So
he had a special power.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not-
So okay, man. We'll put a pin in it, man. Maybe we'll revisit it in like 2 years or maybe we won't ever come back to it because he won't be that relevant. So, anyways, man, yeah, man. Let's.
According
let's
to you,
go-
they overpaid, so
Hey,
see the
they
consequences.
they strap for cash now, man. You locked in. Locked in that CD rate.
But who's coming back? But isn't Cup coming back? Isn't the core coming back?
Donald.
Upside.
You said Donald's coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Donald said he's coming back as long as McVay is coaching. Because, McVay said he might call it quits after this, but he said he's coming back also.
Stafford might
Like,
be
all of
back.
it, like, let's win this one and we're done.
Yeah.
The 36-year-old coach. He says he's gonna call it quits.
Yeah, he said he's going to take some time out, spend time with his family. Do the,
Oh.
urban, I don't want to say urban Meyer route, because,
Yeah. Don't.
yeah, let's
Too
not
soon.
do that.
Too
But he
soon.
says he's going to take a hiatus for a minute, but he's coming back.
Okay. I mean, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good prime
Spend time with
time.
the family.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
36.
Yep.
I agree.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Then, Reg, man, what you got?
Oh man, I thought it was a great Super Bowl in terms of competitiveness, the talent on the field. People didn't stink it up. It wasn't like team winning off of special teams and not really scoring a touchdown kind of thing. But it was a good game. Good game. Love to see it. Was it too much merited controversy? I hear people complaining about the flags at the end of the game, but I enjoyed the game. Enjoyed this halftime performance that we discussed. At the time, it definitely felt great. I was in the moment. I know I rated it low. You would be surprised to hear me say I thought it was great, but good game. Thanks for liking, follow, subscribe, all that.
Cool.
Hey,
Cool.
Reg, your rating is good. 3 out of 5, great.
Three and a half.
3.5. 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. He a little better. And Chris keeps going back to 3. Chris want to say 3.5, but he keep finding himself right back at 3.
You don't want to copy me. You want to go 3? You want to go 3.75?
Hey, yo, I gotta set the baseline. So.
Oh man.
So go ahead, KF, man. What you got?
I don't got much for y'all, man, and Reg just summed it up really nice, man. So Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with us. You can spend your time doing something else, so I appreciate when you spend it with us. Turn it over to Deuce for his fact of the day. Let him do his thing.
All right, Coachella. Have a good one. Bye. No, I was just playing.
I just think like y'all, man.
No, no.
That's what it sounded like.
Sign him out.
No. Come, we ready, man. We gonna.
All right, so yeah, I changed it up, did a quick search real quick, man. I was curious to see how many cities have not hosted the Super Bowl, and I thought it was a small list. What if you guys had to throw a number out there of the cities that have not hosted the Super Bowl? How many would you say?
7.
Oh,
have
it
a football team
has to be like 20.
Okay.
that have a football team, like up
Yeah.
to 32 teams. Go with like 10.
I'll say 20 or like 18.
Kev, what's your pick?
He
I
said
had
7.
7. All right, 16, man. 16
Oh, wow.
teams have not hosted the Super Bowl. Of the 16, some of the big ones: Baltimore.
Washington.
Yeah, we know Washington. Yeah, we Buffalo. Ain't nobody going to Buffalo. I keep saying that. I said that like twice. Nobody's going to Buffalo.
I think Washington shouldn't be allowed until they come with a better name than the Commanders.
That name is sticky. They're not going anywhere.
The Raiders, who are not in Oakland anymore, watch they're gonna host one in Las Vegas soon, pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
and KC, we talked about that. Denver and Chicago hasn't hosted one.
Chicago, wow.
I think that's a capacity issue or because it's cold.
I think it's probably the weather.
Well, I mean, Minnesota
And-
is cold. Is just as cold. Detroit is just as cold.
Sure.
In February? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Those are some of the bigger cities, and you have some smaller ones on it.
yeah.
Next up, Chicago.
So cool. All right, man. That was a nice one, man. I
I
learned
really
something.
think it. I really think it's because of deep dish.
What? Oh my gosh.
Oh man, all the Chaito fans.
Hey, but y'all heard it here first. Chicago got the best dogs, the best hot dogs. That deep dish not it.
Oh wait, better than them San Jose street dogs, bro.
Way better.
Man, look, I had to disagree with you. Deep dish is delicious. So I'm gonna need you to find yourself. We still eat hot dogs. So, anyways, yeah, man. Let us know what you think about the Super Bowl results. Some of what we said, who you thought was the MVP. Halftime show. Tell us if you guys
Good
liked
show.
it, if you hated it, if you thought it was a 3 out of 5, wasn't impressed, very, very average, could have been better. Or, if you don't say any of that stuff, just go ahead and leave a comment and like and subscribe. Tell a friend, and meet us again next Tuesday, man. And with that said, man, I'll let everyone go, man. So y'all, deuces.
Peace, everybody.